Now, in addition to the two structural issues, in the past year and a half, there have been a number of issues that people have been concerned with that Washington has taken up. Issues that I believe don't necessarily contribute to the issue of job production, but actually make it more difficult. On each of these issues, I've had a differing opinion than the President. I do believe that our number one goal ought to be, how can we move job production forward, not necessarily how can we provide additional restrictions and just additional spending in Washington. One of those issues is the cap and trade bill. The President and I differ on that bill. And in Ohio, I think we have probably a fairly uniform view of that bill, because we know it goes straight to the issue of the cost of energy, straight to the issue of the way that we produce energy, and we know that that gets passed on to our ability to produce jobs and for manufacturing. As I was voting against the cap and trade bill, I had stepped off the House floor to take a phone call, and I was walking back in to the House chamber, and standing outside of the House chamber door, there are two Capitol Hill police officers. I was actually walking in the door that was on the side that's traditionally the Democrat side of the House, and the Capitol police officer unusually engaged me in a discussion about what I was going to go do. Usually they're very stoic, they're about their business of protecting us, but this was a bill that was troubling him, and he stepped forward and he said, "Could you tell me why you're going to vote for this?" I said, "Well, actually, I'm not going to go vote for this." And he said, "Well, could you tell me why you're against it?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "You know, we all believe that we need more sensitive, environmentally energy production. Everyone's for that. We also know that we need greater energy independence. Everybody's for that. Well, there are two ways to get there. One is by providing incentives for more domestic production and for more ingenuity so that we can have environmentally sensitive energy production. Another is to strangle what we currently have and put burdens on our current energy production to make it disadvantaged and therefore anti-competitive. And without a bridge to what that alternative energy is, that's only going to result in increased costs and only going to result in a greater difficulty in job production." And the Capitol Hill police officer stood for a moment, thought for just a second, and said, "Well, I'm against this bill too." And I think that's really why we should have all been against it. And the Senate is now struggling with this bill, and I hope that they come to terms with the issue of, as we take steps to protect our environment, as we take steps for energy independence, we need to look at the issue of, what does this do for job production? If we provide incentives for environmentally sensitive energy production, we're going to have a boom of job production and ingenuity and inventiveness that we won't have if we do the reverse, where we merely penalize the current way in which we produce energy. Also